In 2019, author Stephen Pressfield in his book 36 Righteous Men Imagined a World where temperatures rose so high that commercial airlines in the Middle East have trouble flying. Another author in a thriller wrote about a plane crash in Houston due to the air being too hot to support planes. Although futuristic fiction, these now seem too close to reality. When temperatures go very high, planes have trouble taking off and airports can completely shut down. This is already happening in the world's hottest places, and experts say it is becoming an increasingly common consequence of global warming. In June last year, during the unprecedented Pacific Northwest heat dome, Alaska Airlines flights were delayed or cancelled when temperatures on the tarmac went as high as 54 degrees Celsius. In Seattle and Portland, there had to be restrictions set up on how long ramp employees could be outside before retreating to air-conditioned cool-down vans. In the summer of 2018, uncharacteristically high temperatures of over 35 degrees Celsius at London City Airport meant that some flights were too heavy to take off on its short runways. Some passengers had to be removed before the planes could even lift off. In 2017, 60 flights were cancelled over the course of 3 days after temperatures neared 50 degrees Celsius in Phoenix. Safety calculations were not even calibrated for temperatures that high. Hot air makes it harder for planes to fly. Warm air expands and is less dense. When the air is thinner, it takes more power to get the lift, and that allows a plane to take off. Under very hot condition, it takes more fuel, which is heavy, to lift the same amount of passengers and cargo. Extreme heat events are increasing in frequency in the United States. In the 1960s, there were an average of 2 per year. By the 2010s, the average of 6. The heat waves are also lasting longer now. The average heat wave in major US urban areas is now 4 days long, a day longer than the 1960s. The season for heat waves is now 47 days longer than what it was 60 years ago. Last month, the United Nations report on climate change predicted even more intense heat waves to come. It has pushed airlines, airplane manufacturers and airports to plan for what a hotter future looks like. That's a concern for all of us. US experts say that the country may have to take a page from practices in the Middle East. They say the easiest fix is moving long-haul summer flights to early morning or late evening when it is cooler. But that too could play havoc with scheduling and requires passengers to fly at inconvenient times. Another option is to lengthen runways or move hubs to airports with longer runways, so planes have the distances needed to reach takeoff speed. Other solutions include carrying fewer passengers or cargo when temperatures are high, shifting to lighter airplane, or installing more efficient engines. Aviation experts say that heat events are not dangerous to travelers, only costly for the airlines instead. But the ramifications of climate change on aviation cannot be discussed without acknowledging the aviation industry's impact on climate change. The Federal Aviation Administration in the US released a climate action plan last year, but change is quite slow, to say the least. For shorter trips, electric aircraft are now expected to enter the market sometime after 2026. And for longer routes, jet fuel is the only reasonable power source for now. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.